Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is Binky with the final scent of the Resonance Collection, I think it is, of Elorea. I'm pretty sure it is. So this is the one that I had to find because I couldn't find it. Because I had to hide it because it's stronger and it was getting in the way of some of my other fragrances. So here's the thing. With Elorea, it tends to be a gentler brand. If you really want to boost them, of course, you can put on more sprays. I was wearing Heaven yesterday and it's light unless you put on like 6 to 8 sprays and then it lasts you all day, but you got to live through those initial 30 to 40 minutes. So there you go. With Royal Resin, I don't think that's going to be the case because Elorea, of course, is a Korean American brand and they now opened up a store in Itaewon in Seoul. So you know, you want to stick by kind of the Korean aesthetic, and they don't tend to have a bunch of powerhouse fragrances from my understanding, though there's Born to Stand Out, which is a Korean brand, which I've been talking about as well. Yes, so there'll be no Korean drama at the end of this one. I always have one that I pick for the Born to Stand Out series. It's so strange to not have to do a little bit of research on the ones I love. I know what they are, but it's good stuff if you're into it, because I am. Okay, I know I might be a little tired because I had to get up early today. I left my job early. I went done because I couldn't today. And so I'm like, you know, it's late in the day, but I'm trying on a fragrance. Put me in my happy place. It was one of those doozies. So for 50 milliliters, it's $160 and it's regal and meditative. Ooh. So the fragrance profile, modern, resinous, woody, oud. Royal Resin is a modern tribute to Korea's olfactory tradition, capturing the essence of Chimyang Namu, the precious oud once cherished by royal palaces. I know Namu is tree. This rare wood, there you go, is esteemed for its deep meditative scent and symbolic ties to serenity, longevity, and spiritual depth. All right. It's refined, regal, and calming. Sensual. All right. I need a little bit of that today. I really do. It's been a doozy. So the top notes are organic citron, Petalia. I don't know Petalia. That's one I don't know as well. One of the notes. Ginger, love, heart, raspberry, myrrh, cistus, lily of the valley, Korean silk. And the base is incense, santal album. I hope I'm saying that right, and labdanum, Korean birch, oud. So a couple notes I don't know. The Petalia I don't know, and Santal album. Yeah, I hope I'm saying that one correctly because I don't know it. I don't research beforehand because that gets rid of the whole mystery of the fun of it. So here we go, 2 and 2. Oh my God, that went totally over. That's going to be on my bed, and that's okay too. And then 2 below. Ooh. On my hand. On my hand. Put that. Okay, so immediately, this thing's strong. Four sprays is going to take you out. It really is. But I knew this. This one I could smell as soon as I opened up the packaging. This one is no joke. Okay, there's no kitties in the blast zone, so that's a good thing. Let's see here. So I'm definitely getting that myrrh, definitely. And I know they're base notes, but because they're so strong, you get that incense and that myrrh and that wood that they're talking about. And it's kind of interesting because it's kind of a type of wood that you would smell in old buildings. It's like old construction. Like when I went to Japan, I went to some temples, some older temples that have been around forever. You know, and then Korea as well. You'll go into Korea, and this is specifically Korean wood. But it kind of reminds me of those old temples, Buddhist temples in Japan and in Korea, just the palaces. So you kind of get that smell of that wood. And it's so humbling just because I'm in the USA and it's such a baby country in comparison to everywhere else. Of course, there were indigenous people beforehand. But I'm saying as far as when it became America or United States of America, it's a baby country. So to go to other countries, you know, I went to the UK and I was like, ooh, you know, this stuff's way older than my country. And then I went to Asia and I was like, just sit down to me because it's like, this stuff's been around. This tree is 1,000 years old. And I'm like, what? So, but I'm definitely getting those beautiful wooden structures. I'm getting the myrrh and getting that beautiful incense. But a light quality to it. Something very light and beautiful with it. So you get that heaviness, but on my chemistry, it's like this beautiful floaty note. It's very interesting. Yeah, I was going to say citron. Yeah. Because there's citron candles. That's exactly what it smells like. They're supposed to keep mosquitoes away during the summer. So I know citron, which is interesting because it's almost like a candle and you're walking through one of these old palaces with candles burning. But I'm not getting like the ginger or the raspberry or the floral. No. So it's that myrrh, that incense, that woodiness. Oh, that's good. And then the citron just floating on top. Like candles just at night, just the wind hitting it and it's just putting it through the palace. Very beautiful. Ooh, this one is strong. When I first smelled it, I was like, ooh, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this one because it would seem like a lot, but it is blended together so well. It's an experience. It really takes you back in history. So go watch like a historic Korean drama. This is the mood. This will put you in the mood. And so when you're watching it, you can spray this in the nighttime scenes. Smell-o-vision. Because this is what this reminds me of. So let's try on the clothing. Same exact notes. It really isn't changing much from the chemistry to the air around me to my shirt. It's really interesting. Huh. It's more woodsy here, less myrrh and less incense here. It's that citron and that woodsiness, the wood. Huh. With a little bit of brightness. I guess you can say it's the ginger, but I'm really not getting that ginger. I think the other notes are so strong. Well, ginger is the strong note. That's kind of just, I don't know. There's something bright in there, but it's not really coming through as a note that you can pull out as much. At least not from my senses. It really isn't. I think it may be just there in the background. Okay, on my chemistry, sweetness is coming out. But I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what it is. Like, they're saying raspberries in there. I'm not getting raspberry. What I'm getting is a sweetness poking through, but it doesn't really, it's not descriptive. It's just becoming sweeter. And that could also be the wood, because wood to me, depending on the wood, can be sweeter. Like a cedar to me is a bright, sweet note. But, ooh, this one's perfect for this time of year. This one's good. They all were good. Let's just stop right there because I think this may be their strongest. Like their scents before were really great, but I feel like this one is so cohesive. It's probably their strongest grouping yet. I think they're finally getting their footing to what they want to be. And this is good. This is really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check back in an hour to see where this one has gone because it is quite lovely. That is so good. That citron's really coming through on that. Yeah, the wood citron and a sweet note coming through. Interesting. But we will check back in an hour and see how this one is doing. Okay, so it has been about an hour and a half, and this one's still going strong. I mean, it's not as strong as it was when I initially tried it because you have the molecules in the air, but this one's still strong. It is following me everywhere. So there you go. So what I'm mostly getting just walking around is wood. So it's a birch wood, a Korean birch wood, and you're definitely getting that. With birch, for me, it's kind of, I don't know, with the way it's mixing with the myrrh and the incense, it's brighter, almost like a cedar, though it doesn't smell like cedar, but it's kind of reminiscent of that. But that could be the myrrh and the incense pulling out of it. But the incense has become a little bit more prominent with that wood, and it's quite lovely, at least all together. But let's look at it on the chemistry. Very interesting. Mostly incense, and a little bit of, well, incense and then wood on the chemistry. There's also a light sweetness to it, and the labdanum is coming through, but that's not unexpected on me. I mean, that's the way it is. But what I like about this is that it isn't overwhelming. For me, labdanum can take over a scent, but because these other notes are so strong, it's actually combining really nicely, and it's just creating this beautiful scent bubble. That's really beautiful. But let's try it on the clothing. It's almost identical. The only thing is the labdanum isn't coming through as much. So that's a me thing, not surprised. It's always like that with me, but it's basically the same. And on here, these are so lovely. They're so deceptive. But what I will say with this one is it's very close to the chemistry and the shirt. They're all like pretty close knit. It's just this is balanced a little bit more, but they always are on this. This one's just beautiful. You're getting more of that floral coming out, which I'm not getting on my chemistry or on the shirt as much. So you're getting that wood with the floral note and a little bit of the floaty raspberry with the myrrh mixed with that wood and incense, but the floaty notes are on top. It's just beautiful. I wish it smelled like, nothing ever smells like these, I'm telling you. But that being said, like, I barely get any of the labdanum on that. Of course, on my chemistry I do. That being said, it's still not as far off as some have been on these. So while the raspberry and the florals aren't coming out quite as strong on my chemistry, there's hints of it. Interesting, now that I smell it, there are hints of it, but it's mostly that wood and myrrh. So depending on what you pull out, you could get more of that fruity floral coming from it. It's kind of like an old wooden structure in spring. I love that. That's what this is reminding me of. Let me try it on the shirt again. Okay. No, I'm still getting the wood and the myrrh, but yeah, I got the right spot. And you do get a little bit of that raspberry, and you do get a little bit of that floral coming through. So I got a good whiff of it that time. But again, I do feel like the wood and the myrrh and the incense are the main players on the shirt. And here it's just mixed a little bit better. It's so beautiful. On here it's just absolutely beautiful. If your body pulls like that, ooh. But even without it, it's beautiful. Yeah, for me it's bringing out that wood, myrrh, incense, and labdanum. But it's still glorious. But I think I do like it a little bit more on the shirt and on the paper. Yeah, just a little bit, because I do like that fruity floral coming through. It just adds something different. It's like you're walking through an old structure. Like, if you've ever been to, like I said, Todajai in Japan is an old, I think one of the biggest wooden buildings in the world. And it has this kind of wooden scent to it. Same thing if you go to palaces in Korea that are built from wood, you get the smell. And though it's not a childhood memory, it's a moment in time that I recognize that smell of wood, and I absolutely adore it. I absolutely adore this. This isn't normally a scent profile I go for, and I thought this would be the one I'd be like, towards, and to be honest with you, this one is glorious. This one's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check back in 3.5 hours. I hope this one's still going strong, because it just keeps getting better. It's so good. I can smell it and I'm like, So we'll check back in 3.5 hours, and I hope it's still as beautiful as it is now, because it really is quite special. Okay, it has been 5 hours, and I could definitely still smell this one. So this one, I mean, it's calmed down, but it's still definitely there. So this is one that is definitely going to stay with you. So if you tried Elorea and you're like, they just don't last that long, they're so light, this is the one that you want. There's a few of them that are strong, but this one of the Resonance collection is really, really strong. And it's still going. I mean, it's there, though it has mellowed. So when I walk around, I still smell it. Still getting that wood scent, that myrrh and incense when I move around. I'm really getting that. But with me, at least, with myrrh, well, not myrrh as much, but with incense, they tend to go sweeter on my body. Chemistry, and so I think it's a mix of the clothing and the chemistry, but it's just really lovely. This one's really lovely, but let's try it on the chemistry. Yep, it's that sweetness. It's that sweetness of the incense. It really goes sweet on me. It's very interesting. And myrrh, to a degree, after a while, they just get sweet. And then with the beautiful wood. And there's just an overall sweetness. I'm not getting the raspberry scent to it, but that never really came through on my chemistry. So chemistry is very personal. And I'm also getting musk. But that's my body. There's always musk. Like, not always, but if I'm wearing a fragrance and there's even a little drop, you're gonna see it. So yes, I'm definitely getting a musk coming through. That's my chemistry. It's very strong with it, but it's not overbearing. And sorry for all the noise. There's rain and it causes accidents. And yes, so I'm major city. So when I move, I smell that musk. But the thing, what I like about this is, even with my skin, my chemistry that loves musky notes, it never becomes too overbearing because the wood, the myrrh, the incense, they all come together to kind of overtake it a bit. It's like, you know, they're both also strong. It's like, hey, we got you. High five. Yeah. So nothing better than high-fiving yourself. You're not going to miss that. There you go. So yes, but let's try it on the clothing. Interesting. On the clothing, I'm getting a little bit of musk, but not nearly as much as on my skin. So I'm getting that woodsy scent to it and just a little bit of incense, but I'm definitely getting that floral and a little bit of that raspberry. I really am getting a fruity floral scent with it. Very interesting, actually. Probably not as much as this one. Yeah, even this one's morphed a bit. It's that sweet wood with incense, but I'm getting a floral, like a fruity floral, but I wouldn't be able to tell exactly what it was. That's lovely. This is really good. This is really good. So my chemistry really kind of morphs it a bit. Yeah, but that's what happens. Your chemistry might pull out something completely different than mine. I never got the ginger note though, and I really wanted that. I don't know how it would fit with this. Obviously it does because it's in it, but it's I love ginger. It's such a crisp, bright, spicy type note that I just didn't quite get. Maybe it got buried a bit. I love it. I love it. So maybe it's adding a bit of that brightness and I'm just not pulling out the note so much, but it's glorious. This one's glorious. It really does remind me of walking through a palace, like at night, a wooden old historic palace, and going back in time and smelling these things that would be present. It's really cool in that way. It's very atmospheric, and I really appreciate the artistry of it in that way. I think it's fantastic. But if we were going to categorize this, you always wear what you want. I say that every time, and I always will. You wear what you want, because why not? You're not hurting anyone. It's a fragrance. Come on. But if I were going to categorize this one, I would definitely say that this is a more bold choice. This would do really well in late fall, or early fall if you live in a colder climate. Winter, heck yeah. I think it's really going to shine during those months because it really has oomph to it. And during that cold weather, if you live in cold weather, some places, even in winter, it never gets that cold. But if you're in a really cold place, this would just be so lovely when you're outdoors and you're all cold and you're snuggling up in your coat. This would just be so cozy. It'd be so cozy. Might be a little bit heavy for summer, depending where you live, but this one's so good. It's so good. Now, if I were going to put it into another category of masculine and feminine, you wear what you want. We always do. But I can see how most people would probably perceive this as being a little bit more masculine. And I don't know why I just brought this down. I realize it's always around my face. And I'm like, where is it? I don't even know why. But I could see this being perceived as a little bit more masculine with that strong woodsy note. That musk, that it's not smoky, but it has a smoky component to it. So it's almost like a smoky wood and like almost, it's not like incense is burning, but there is a smokiness to it. And things like that tend to be seen as a little bit more masculine. If you were, a female and you're like trying this, it would definitely be a bold statement piece. And I love that. I love bold statement pieces that people don't always expect for women to wear. And this is definitely that, and I love it. And I would definitely wear this one again. Surprisingly enough, I really like this one. So if I were going to give it a score, I would give this one an 8 out of 10. And part of it is because I really didn't expect to love this one as much as I did. I was kind of like, kept pushing it to the end. And I actually really adore this one. I really think this group of 4 is so distinctly different in the presentation, but yet fit together so beautifully in this series of 4. I think this one's the strongest showing yet, though I don't know if any of them will ever beat Hazy Blue. I will say it. But these are absolutely phenomenal. I love this. I love it. So 8 out of 10, just because it took me on a journey. It took me into the past and made me appreciate notes that I don't always gravitate towards. So for me, that's why I give it an 8 out of 10. But I just think it's phenomenal, and it really has staying power. It really does. So if you're looking for an Elorea one that's going to pack a punch and go, I want my money's worth, you found it. This was it. It's going to do it. So yeah, this was a fun series. I really enjoyed where Elorea went with this. I think they're really starting to get who they are. I feel like before they got it, but this is just really good. This is just a really great bunch. So yeah, big thumbs up. And with that, have a fabulous day, my friends. Bye.